What is it that you can do now that you couldn't do before? Well, I'm glad you asked. Number one, I could actually drink water. I used to have to avoid drinking water because, well, it was kind of a pain to try and relieve myself. Because if I get a full bladder, then I would be pressed. And when I go to relieve myself, it would actually kind of fail for a while there. Like for 30 seconds, I would be pressed and yet nothing would happen. So even when I'm actually actively relieving myself, it would take like almost a minute or so while I would still be pressed. So that was actually kind of a pain, and I didn't want to keep doing that. And so what I had to do, what I resorted to doing was to try to avoid drinking water. I would avoid drinking water so that I could not be bothered. So that's what used to happen. But now I don't have to do that. Now I can just drink the water, and when it comes time to relieve myself, I would go right ahead and do that. So that's solved, done and dusted. The second thing is that I could actually fool around. By fool around, I mean I could hang around someone who was trying to, let's say, flirt with me or just trying to get a rise out of me. I wouldn't really have a problem with that anymore. So I could stand being around such activation or such an environment or such like uh, well such like behavior. I used to have to try and avoid it because I would get what is known as blue balls. So this activation is something that is uh, it's um, it's very sensitive. It's not something that you actually want to have because it's kind of final. Once you get them, once you get the blue balls, you can't actually perform. So that would be a done deal. It's actually, you are locked out of performing. So that used to be a problem, but now I suppose, well, you can have all of that and not be locked out because some people like to play. I mean, the other gender likes to play around, like to fool around. Well, they call it foreplay, but it used to be kind of an hindrance, but now it's not a hindrance no more. So that's something. The other thing is, what's the next one? Mm-hmm. All right, let's pause for a moment. And last but not least, there is all that stuff that's tied around your ego, like taking a piece around your friends. I mean, if you go out to the bushes, let's say you are in a group and you have to take a break or a road trip, you don't actually go and try to find a hiding spot or such. You just, well, go right on the basically you do the minimum amount of searching for a spot. Minimum, well, you'd minimize the amount of effort that you put into trying to find a spot to stand, and you just, well, relieve yourself right there and then with the rest of your bodies very close by. So you wouldn't have to try and find some hiding spot somewhere out there, like you're trying to go number two, which is not what you're trying to do, just going number one. So you're also not afraid to just start going because you don't have the resistance that used to be there. There used to be this resistance, and now you don't have to worry about that because there is that no more. That is actually fixed. What else? The ego thing is actually quite extensive. There is stuff like skinny dipping. Skinny dipping used to be, well, a horror show or something that you'd be horrified about, but not anymore. Now it's kind of just, well, a thrill that you can go through. You're not actually trying to go out there doing skinny dipping, but the fact that you can do it, that is actually all that you need. You just need the capacity to be able to do that if you want to do it. So those are just some of the things that I could mention because they pertain to me specifically. But to you, probably there are some other things like the level of pleasure that you can draw from sex, that is also well multiplied, a couple of multiples more, because of the you have more of a sensory platform than you did before. That's all I need to say about that. So that also happened, but that's actually not all that important, but it's also a thing. It's something you can add to your list in case you are that kind of person. So those are the major ones. The others you have to figure out for yourself if this is actually important. You probably already know. You already know what you want to do or what you want to be able to do. So I shouldn't have to tell you too much more. This is what pertains to me, and it's the best thing ever. Yeah.